Your testosterone's dialed in, your numbers look great on paper, so why do you still wake up soft, running on empty, and feeling exhausted? If you're on TRT, you train hard, you eat well, and your blood work looks pretty good too, but you feel like a shadow of a man that you used to be, this is the video that explains it. Because there's one thing that your testosterone can't fix, and it's quietly wrecking your results every single night, and that is your sleep. I call this the shutdown sequence. First, why you're still wrecked, even after a full night of sleep. Then, 5 things in order that will actually determine whether you wake up recovered or feeling like trash. The clock, the cutoffs, the shutdown, the cave, and the snort check. Most men over 40 just try and fix how they feel and the fact that they have lack of energy by just smashing more coffees and caffeine. Or by asking their doctor to just bump up the TRT dose. And that's why they stay stuck. But the real lever here is the one that they keep sacrificing in order to run the business. So let's start with why you're so wrecked, even when the numbers say that you shouldn't be. Here's what nobody tells you. Sleep isn't about how many hours you get, it's about how deep you sleep. Because deep sleep is where your body actually recovers. It repairs your muscle, it clears out the stress hormone cortisol, and it resets how well you handle blood sugar, insulin. And here's why it matters so much even when you're on TRT. TRT just tops up the hormone that's in your blood. That part's taken care of. But it can't force your body to recover. Only sleep can do that. So when you're not sleeping properly, cortisol is going to be jacked up all day, and cortisol is literally the enemy when it comes to all your hormones. It fights your testosterone, makes you hold on to more belly fat, and it makes you insulin resistant. And that's why you can have a perfect blood panel and still look like absolute shit. And if you're not on TRT, this is even simpler because the natural testosterone you produce, the little bits of it, if you're after 40, that's going to be suppressed even further by having high cortisol. Either way, sleep is literally the bottleneck. You can lie in bed for 8 hours and literally only get 40 minutes of deep sleep. So you wake up having slept, but you just get none of the repair. And that 3 a.m. waking up, staring at the ceiling, feeling wired, that's usually your blood sugar that's crashing during the night, and that spikes cortisol and adrenaline, which wakes you up out of your sleep. So the goal is never just to have more time in bed. We want to get restful sleep. Deep sleep. And that's why the rest of this video is dedicated to getting the deepest, best sleeps possible. Here's the first mistake. You try and fix your sleep at night, but your sleep is decided the moment you wake up. You see, your body runs on a 24-hour clock, and your body sets that clock with sunlight. Get bright sunlight into your eyes as soon as you wake up, and then 16 hours later, your body is going to naturally tell you to start winding down to get to sleep. If you skip this step, then your body's internal clock is going to get all confused, and then that's why sometimes you stay up looking at the ceiling when it's past your bedtime. So, 2 rules here. Wake up at the same time every day, including weekends. And 2, get outside and look at some sun. You don't have to stare directly at it, but get some sunlight on your skin, in your face, with no sunglasses. 5 or 10 minutes is fine. That is literally going to do more for your sleep than any supplement on planet fucking Earth. And that's why you fix the night by fixing your morning. Well, that sets the clock, but the next one is where you're quietly torching your sleep during the day, every single day. So we've set the clock, but now let's go over the 3 things that are wrecking your sleep, and you're probably doing every single one of them. First, caffeine. It has a half-life of about 6 hours. Don't quote me on that, but it's about 6 hours. So that 2 p.m. coffee that I was talking about in my last video, half of it is still in your system by 8 p.m. And that's obviously going to block the chemicals that start making us sleepy. So try and cut out caffeine by about midday if you can. I mean, if you follow all these steps in my previous videos, you should have long sustained release energy throughout the day without having 50 fucking coffees. Second, and this is the big one, boys, alcohol. A few drinks knocks you out. Sure, absolutely. I've experienced it. I know it's true, but alcohol absolutely wrecks your deep sleep. You lie there for 8 hours and literally get almost no recovery from it. That nightcap might be the exact reason why you wake up feeling like shit, even if you got a full 8 hours of sleep. So if you can, cut the booze completely. And if you can't, just try and limit it to 1 to 2 times per week maximum, and make sure you cut it off at least 3 hours before bed. Third is food. Stop eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. A late meal is going to spike your insulin and have you trying to digest when you should be focusing on trying to sleep and recover. 10 hours off caffeine, 3 hours off alcohol, and 3 hours off food. And that's why most men who sleep fine still wake up feeling wrecked, because they're sabotaging the one stage that actually matters before bed. Look, if you want the full picture on getting your energy and your sex drive back, I've created a free guide. It's called Get Your Drive Back. It covers the sleep, the cortisol, and the sex drive side of all these things that I've been covering. It's in the description below. It's free. Check it out. Well, that's the inputs handled, but you've still got to get your brain to switch off. So far, we've got the clock and we've got the shutoffs. Now the part that most business owners over 40 get completely wrong. You can't run a company until 9 p.m., slam the laptop shut, and expect you to get in bed and fall asleep by 9:30. Your brain doesn't have an off switch like that. It has a dimmer and it takes a little while for you to wind down. So give yourself that wind down, at least 30 to 60 minutes, at least, in bed, no blue light, no phones, no doom scrolling, no fucking obsessing over what's gonna happen the next day. Because literally that screen you're scrolling every single night, the blue light there is telling your brain that it's daytime. And a good one here for people that are overthinkers, write down the 3 biggest things you want to do for the next day so you don't wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. obsessing over it and then you can't fall back asleep. So with that, now you've shut the brain down. Now, the room setting itself is either helping you tremendously or absolutely fucking you over. So far, the clock, the cutoffs, and the shutdown. But this next one's quick and it's definitely underrated. Your bedroom needs to be a literal cave. Quiet, dark, and cold as fuck. Cold first, because this is the one that nobody does right. To drop into a deep sleep, your body has to drop its core temperature down significantly. And a warm room is obviously gonna block this. So get it cold, like 18 degrees or about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And dark, like pitch black. Something funny about me that is kind of embarrassing, but I don't give a fuck because this is super important for me, is I wear an eye mask. When I travel, when I go to hotels, when I'm at home, anywhere I go, I have my eye mask. And the reason for that is simple. Even the smallest little light on a TV or anything in the room that has any light, an LED, that can affect your sleep and it affects mine. So little pro tip here and a little extra, get an eye mask. Your wife might think you're fucking stupid, but hey, try it. Don't knock it until you try it. Now, when it comes to sounds, this is another one that I can help you out with my own personal setup. I listen to theta waves. Now, you'll be able to find plenty of these on YouTube. You can just search them. It'll put you into a deep sleep and keep you there because you won't be able to hear any exterior noises during the night because it's a steady noise the whole night, similar to like white noise. Find one of those on YouTube, find one that you like, and then do it every single night the exact same. So that's the room sorted. But there's one thing that can wipe out and ruin everything that we just mentioned just now, and most men will never fucking check it. Last one, and if you're on TRT, really listen to this. If you snore and your wife has told you before that you don't breathe for literally minutes on end when you're asleep at night, that's probably because you have sleep apnea. That's not random, that's a problem. And I know it's a problem because I have it too. And for years during my peak of my bodybuilding career, I slept with a CPAP. And a CPAP is just one of those machines that you put next to your bed that makes you look like Darth Vader. You put on a fucking mask and you all night long. Super annoying, super uncomfortable, but the sleeps were elite. For context, apnea just means that you stop breathing multiple times during the night. And obviously if you do that, you're not gonna get a full rested sleep. And then also your testosterone is gonna tank if you're a natty and you'll feel exhausted no matter what you do. And here's the kicker, boys. If you're using TRT or any exogenous testosterone or PD, it's gonna make it way worse. And I know this because my sleep apnea was way worse during my bodybuilding career. You can literally do everything right and still wake up feeling like garbage because you have sleep apnea. So that's something you really wanna make sure you take care of. They'll do the settings, you'll go home with a machine, and you'll look like Darth Vader. All day, every day. So if that's you, go and get a proper sleep test. You can just Google it, you'll be able to find someone that's local to you, go do it, give you a CPAP machine where it can customize all the settings so that you sleep all night like a baby. Your wife might absolutely hate this, just letting you know now. And honestly, if you're watching this video and you think you're doing most of these things already and you still feel like shit, you probably want some more information about what's going on the inside of your body. And that's why I created the Blood Work Decoder tool. This tool is gonna analyze your blood work and give you answers as to where you stand with all your hormone levels, including cortisol. If you want access to that, the link's in the description. So that's the shutdown sequence. Why you wrecked? It's deep sleep, not hours. The clock, the cutoffs, the shutdown, the cave, and the snore check. Fix your sleep and your energy, your fat loss, and the results you actually expected from using TRT will start coming a whole lot easier. And hey, it's probably gonna improve your mood as well because you're not gonna be a grumpy asshole after sleeping like shit every day of your life. So start with at least one of these tonight. If I was you, I would start with the cutoffs if I had to choose one, because the fix was never a higher dose of TRT. It was always a deeper sleep. And if you want me to stop you guessing altogether and build out a custom system which is guaranteed to get you the result you want way faster without the guesswork, the link to that is below as well. Go check it out. And in the next video, I'm going to show you why your TRT might not be working, even if things look perfect on paper. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. I'll see you on the next one.